Every year, 500 million people and their livelihoods are affected by flooding. The flood in Pakistan in 2022 killed more than 1,500 people and affected another 33 million. In the last 30 years, Asia witnessed about 40% of total floods worldwide. Large tropical cities like Manila, where I live, suffer from urban floods regularly. In Asian and Pacific cities, climate change brings more intense rainfall, causing more urban flooding. But why doesn't the flood water drain away despite investment on flood risk management? Because it's a randomly dumped solid waste that blocks the drains everywhere. Look at this urban flood in a slum area in Jamshed town in Karachi, Pakistan. What you see floating in the flood is solid waste. What many people fail to see here is a phenomenon called the flood, solid waste, and wastewater nexus. This nexus establishes the close connections between the management of solid waste and wastewater together with the urban flood management. The actions in any one of these three areas often have an impact on one or both the other areas, and therefore makes it more complex for urban development professionals. Poor solid waste management increases the flood risk because it blocks the urban drainage systems, increases debris, and harbors disease vectors. Plastic bags in the rainwater cover and block the inlets during the rains and can make the flood even more dangerous. This is a picture from Bangkok, Thailand. It shows the composition of solid waste in a manhole that clogged the whole drainage system. The highest volume in the waste, plastic. This is a picture where the riverbank and the riverbed are full of waste, and this waste blocks the river flow and reduces the flood capacity. Similarly, the flood also creates more waste. Flood flows take the randomly dumped waste and waste from open dump sites in land areas to rivers and oceans, including plastics. This plastic is non-biodegradable and is the most common marine debris. Another challenge is that most of our cities have combined sewers. The rainwater and the sewerage get mixed in the same pipe. When flood happens, pipes back up and the raw sewerage enters the environment. It causes severe water pollution. Solid waste management is critical in this nexus to ensure that the flood can be mitigated as intended and the wastewater is managed properly. How do we address this problem in ADB? First is that flood, solid waste, and wastewater management should be considered together. ADB's work in Chongqing Longxi River Basin in China addresses the flood risks by considering solid waste management and wastewater's impact. Or how ADB's work in Viet Nam, Ho Chi Minh City has addressed the flood impact and wastewater impact. It still has more potential to involve solid waste management. The second principle is to prioritize waste collection and reduce haphazard dumping to reduce localized flood risks. ADB's work in China as well as in Philippines has improved solid waste management. But what is interesting here is even they have only partially claimed the benefit on flood risk reduction. And that is happening with many other projects that hasn't yet considered the flood, solid waste, and wastewater nexus. The third, solid waste management improvement depends on people's behavior change. Therefore, strengthening public awareness is critical, such as 3R principles of reduce, reuse, and recycle. This will help in two ways. One, it would minimize the volume of waste requiring to be landfilled, and second, it would ensure large-scale and organized waste collection. Both our projects in China and Philippines have included the public awareness as their components. The truth is, due to the climate change's impact, more and more investment comes to the urban drainage and flood risk management improvement, but you never reach its expected benefit if solid waste management is not included. If we can incorporate solid waste collection and disposal into the plans for improving flood and wastewater management, it would sustain the investment benefits. That's what true integration would be, and this is how we would be able to consider this nexus for sustainable and resilient urban development.